I'm very pleased today to have with me Roberto Setubal, the President and CEO of the largest bank in South America, Banco Itau Unibanco, and incidentally also the 12th largest bank in the world by market capitalization. Roberto, give us a sense of Banco Itau Unibanco in Brazil and in South America today.
We are the largest bank in Brazil. Brazil is a big country. We have almost 200 million inhabitants. So we have more than 4,500 branches all over the country. We are a universal bank. We do all kinds of financial services. We are leaders in most of the business lines that you can imagine in Brazil, including insurance, credit cards, deposits, consumer lending, in addition to commercial banking, and investment bank as well. We are also present in Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, and Paraguay. So this is basically Banco Itaú. We have 90% of our banking business in Brazil and the remaining 10% out of Brazil.
Now, the banking industry in Brazil is still in the process of consolidation, if I might say so. Banco Itaú continue to grow within your local environment.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years we have two big consolidation transactions, which were Santander acquiring Banco Real in Brazil and Itaú acquiring, merging with Unibanco. So those two transactions basically, I would say, that finished the cycle of consolidation in Brazil for the moment. So I think the only minor transactions will happen in the coming years.
In the current global economic crisis, the banks that seem to have survived best, those that have kept to a core franchise, and sometimes that franchise is very strongly focused on retail, for example. Would you say that Banco Itaú had a core franchise that underpinned its continued resilience in the marketplace?
Yes, our core franchise, we are very known by our retail franchise in Brazil. We are very known by our technology, our convenience of the service that we offer to the clients. We are very traditional on that, and this is the backbone of the bank, clearly.
Would you say that you were not as affected by the economic crisis because you were not already there, or is it more by design that you have in place the risk management structures that kept you away from it?
Yeah, I would say that we were not involved directly with the crisis because we are not there. Probably if we were there, we would have some kind of involvement like other banks had. I don't think that given our profile of risk and the way we manage risk in the bank, probably we would be less involved than the average of the banks there.
How different is Latin America's economies, as compared to the US and even Asia, and how are the Latin American countries in general holding out?
Latin America went through a process of reorganizing its economic policies in the last 10 years, 20 years, controlling inflation and coping with external balance of payments. Now we are in a very good position. All the countries have, not all, but most of the countries have done a very good effort, and they are in very strong positions. So they were very marginally affected by the crisis overall. Latin America generally is a commodity producer. So Brazil and other countries in Latin America, we export minerals, oil, agricultural products, and Asia has also kept aside of the crisis to a large extent, and the Brazilian exports to Asia have kept about the same level. So we are doing well like other countries in Latin America.
Have you been going to the capital markets recently to raise capital? Did you have to shore up Tier 1? We noticed that your subsidiary in Chile had to issue bonds recently. And how is the capital market responding?
So as a whole, we have 16%, over 16%.
That's very good.
Yeah, Basel index, so we are very comfortable. 12% of this is tangible capital.
Why is that? Why the high level of capitalization? Is that historical?
Yeah, it's historical. In Brazil, given the high volatility of the markets in the 90s, the central bank made the banks, instead of having the minimum level at 8%, we have the minimum level at 11%. And we have also a buffer in addition to the 11% that we are obliged to comply. So we have we have between 14 and 16. ROE is between 20 and 30% in the last 10 years.
That's very good. I mean, that's one good news coming from one part of the world. As you become more international as an institution, what does becoming international mean to Banco Itaú?
I would say that we have aspirations for the moment. Itaú, we are fully focused on the merger today in this moment, but we looking into the future, we have aspirations of becoming more international. After the merger, we will have between 20 and 30% market share in almost all the products and segments of the market. So
in Brazil?
In Brazil.
Okay.
So we don't expect to increase too much market share there, although Brazil will have very good growth in the coming years probably. Having said that, I would say that our aspirations are more in Latin American area for the moment. We believe that we can understand better the culture of those countries, the political situation of those countries, before we think of other areas of the world like Asia or Middle East or Eastern Europe.